just want to talk about RBA Boombox a little bit and just your relationship with Brandon. And because to be honest, I honestly thought RBA Boombox was your like your baby, but like, can you talk about how y'all's relationship started and how it's gone evolved from there?
Yeah, man, during the pandemic, I met Brandon from the RBA Boombox. Originally, the Boombox was a shipping container he had converted into a recording and podcast studio at his house. So he approached me due to him knowing about my music. He's said he produces and makes beats. So, we would DM back and forth. Eventually, he invited me over, so I came over to listen to some beats. But really, we more so developed like a friendship, and more like a partnership in some regards. So he saw the things I'm doing with Charged Up, and I saw what he was doing with the Boombox. And to those who don't know, RBA Boombox is it's like a content platform, internet radio station for underground hip hop that doesn't traditionally get recognized. I say on mainstream radio, press, what have you, by the blog. So right now, over the last few years, there's been a resurgence in like a certain sound, a segment of hip hop that was getting ignored. It just so happens that there's a lot of artists in Richmond and this region as a whole who kind of gravitate towards that sound, whether you want to say it's lo-fi, boom bap, lyric driven hip hop. To me, it's just hip hop, but it's hip hop that hasn't gotten the recognition traditionally from record labels and other hip hop outlets over the last few years. So we became friends, and so I've been helping him behind the scenes to build like the Boombox brand. But in turn, he was really a strong reason why I opened up the store. He has a background in like construction and contracting. So he had really like encouraged me to open a store. He started the conversation with me during the pandemic. I felt like I wasn't ready, or I was just, it's a big thing to open up a business, especially, going backwards now to think like I'm having a conversation about opening an actual physical retail location during the pandemic, so people see an store open in 2022, but it didn't just open spontaneously. Like really 2021, majority of 2021, I was planning and working on getting the space, building up my merchandise so that I could open. So that was really like a 1.5 year long process. But the original conversation was that he was looking at getting a building which could have the RBA Boombox recording studio, a small venue, and a storefront. And I would use the storefront to have the Charged Up store. So, we looked at some spaces. We just couldn't find a space that could do everything. So I ended up getting the location where I'm at now, and he ended up using another location, which was originally his workshop, to open the Boombox. Like where the Boombox is located now was actually where him and I would meet, and we're like, he was drawing up the blueprints for the Charged Up store. But yeah, man, he's a good dude. It's a lot of big things we're working on. We have an album called Heretic that's gonna come out. Charged Up and his record label Contra Records have partnered to create the album. It's a dope hip hop album where I'm working with a lot of like producers and people I haven't worked with before. I have production from like Unlucky Bastards, Pink the Symbol, Obliv.
Okay, I'm excited.
So all the producers I have worked with. I'm trying to think. I got one from my dude Ongo. Ongo is part of Charged Up. He lives up in Brooklyn, but he's from Cali. But I really think, DJ B Rice made one.
Okay.
DJ Harrison made one.
Man.
So yeah, and that's really, with all the projects I've released, it's really only like a few producers. I was making like albums where I would lock in with one producer from Taylor, White Low, DJ Mentos, Fan Ran, Clef Dollars, and my dude Ongo, JL Hodges. They were all one producer, but this is the first album I'm releasing in a while where it's like, all different producers, but it's still, we found a sound that works for it. So
That's what's up.
yeah, it's up.
And kind of in that vein, this is talking about an album. If you were to put together a 5-song EP of your favorite, like songs you made, what would they be? I know I'm putting you on the spot. But
Right, 5 songs. Let me think, like my favorites and things I feel like speak for me. I think I would put my song Trap from Monument Avenue. And I probably put my song Chilipino on there from Chilipino just because I feel like it encompasses the sound I was looking for or me telling that story. 64 West from DJ Mentos. Two more. I got a lot of songs. What else? What else is some of my favorite?
anything out
Oh yeah, Dirty Rice. I would probably put like 2 official with Fan Red to encompass that whole chamber with him. And yeah, The Rain.
Yeah, I was just listening to that again today.
Yeah, man.
That's a really good project.
Thank you.
And Richmond Brave too. Like,
Yeah, I would probably put.
really.
It's like I have so many different like sounds. You know what I mean? Like that represent different time periods. So I might probably put some from. Well, 64 West was by DJ Mentos, but maybe my song Matthew. That's like real
That's a good
person.
one too. That's a really good one. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that was hard.
Yo, it's crazy because like each time like I worked with a producer, it just represents a certain time period to me when I look back. So like The Rain means a lot to me because it was the album I put out after Monument Avenue, and I feel like it kind of helped me keep going and allowed me to tell my story like, but in a different way, and what it symbolizes to me personally. Like I Let It Rain. Yeah, I Let It Rain, Dirty Rice. I feel like blessed, man. Like I said, I had like, I've been able to do a lot of things with a lot of different producers, but still represents me, you know what I mean?
That's hard to do, like to have a cohesive, you know what I mean, to still have your brand and your voice still stand despite who you're working with. Like that's hard to do, and like for you to be doing it, like the course of your career. And just to wrap up here, a few more questions. So, with the young Noah O, I know it's not your government, but your full government. But would the young Noah O be proud of the man you are today?
Yeah, I believe so. Like, it's still things that I want to accomplish, but I'm doing the things that I dreamed about. You know what I mean? The things that when I was in high school, I'm doing or have done a lot of them and still doing them. Like, I wanted to make an impact in my community. I've always wanted to make the music I wanted to make. I've always wanted to build Charged Up as a brand. And like really like, represent, for Filipinos and hip hop culture. I feel like I've been doing those things. I want to expand, of course. I want to continue to grow as an artist and continue to help bring a spotlight to Virginia. So just gonna keep working. But yeah, I believe so. I've done a lot of the things that I planned on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I write them, I've always written stuff down. So and sometimes I forget. So when I go back to those lists, I'm like, man, you did it. You did X, Y, and Z. The things you set out to do. It's just continuing to grow, bro. I just want to keep growing and be able to, take care of my people, make my community and my family proud. So it means a lot to me.
Yeah, and you have, and I know the journey's still happening. So, I always like to end with this one. So how has the DMV, so DC, Maryland, Virginia, I know we get territorial about it, but how how has the DMV helped shape your story?
Man, I mean, even though, you know, people say like geographically, you know, and I've talked with people from like, I'd say the DC metro area, since that's what people consider DMV. But I mean, all of it, bro, like going back to Ricky Parker, he was my manager one time. I can still consider him a close friend. He's from the DC metro area. My man, Kareed, that's who I had the Loft Boutique with. He's from like Northern Virginia, DC. So I spent a lot of time up there. I mean, all of that. There's certain things that we do in this region. You know, Virginia is the South, but even like when you think of like go-go or even comes to streetwear, bro, like DC really like has been one of the strongest streetwear places. Like DC cats for years, it's not uncommon to meet somebody from DC and they only rocking DC stuff. If it's not designer, they rock DC brands. And there's people, DC over the last 30 years have had stores and their own brands. And when you leave the region, you might not see it, but that's a testament. So like, I always salute DC. They've always been like a place where they have their own culture. So like, yeah, DMV, bro, Virginia's part of the DMV when it comes to music, I'd say, but we're not part of DC metro area. Richmond has its own sound, but it's crazy. Like when I tell people from Virginia, the first thing they'll say, "Oh, you from DMV?" And I have to explain to them like, "Nah, I'm from Richmond. We're about 2 hours away. We got our own distinct culture." But that was really more from a marketing, I'll say, regional standpoint to create a market. And Virginia is part of that, bro. We're not the same as Northern Virginia, but when you talk about, you know, Baltimore to Richmond 757, it's one chunk on the map. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you see even the influence. I'll say this, like, like when it comes to the drill music, like a lot of them artists, a lot of the younger artists be paying attention to what like DC Kaz is doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's always like, bro, when before somebody from DC pops nationally, they be known down here. You know what I mean? Like we're part of the same region, more so than the deep South. You know what I mean? Or we don't get lumped into like the tri-state area. So we definitely part of this region. You know?
No doubt. That's all I got. Is there anything you want to add? Anything we might have missed?
Just thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you for allowing this time for me to share my story.
Yeah.
Man, we're just gonna keep it charged up, man. Hope people keep rocking with us, keep tapping in with the projects, the product we dropping. You know, it's bigger than just music. You know what I mean? Charged Up is a mindset. It's a lifestyle. If you want to call it a brand, a label, it's all of those things. You know, and it's gonna keep growing. You know what I mean? You might see Charged Up. You know, sports people, you know what I mean, under the Charged Up umbrella. So it's just gonna keep growing, man. Charged Up, yeah.
No doubt. Cool. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
This is dope. This is dope.